Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to the Ariel Show. I am especially excited about this episode for reasons I will be telling you about at the very end. This is a super ultra special episode and I want to tell you all about it. But first, we're going to be talking about something not quite as exciting, and that is dealing with dramatic, toxic, soul-sucking human beings. I know that sounds really cruel. Let me just kind of, state here that we've all been there at one time or the other where we're the dramatic people that everyone else has to deal with. And just because, someone might be a little bit in like a toxic place in their life right now, that doesn't make them a bad person. We'll still love them. They're still great and all that. We're going to figure out how to deal with them today. So I know that a lot of you guys watching, you're dreamers, like you've got big goals for your life. You're going places with your life. You're being, an active participant in your own life. So I know that when that's the case, it can be really frustrating to be around other people that like get in the way of your dream or get in the way of like just your everyday life and disrupt you. Maybe they steal your time. Maybe they steal your energy, your creative energy. And that's what soul sucking is all about. People sometimes can suck your soul out of you and leave you really drained. And I kind of want to teach you some things that I've learned so that way that doesn't have to happen to you. So I feel like with these toxic people, they're at a whole different energy level than the rest of humanity. So these people have this kind of frantic energy about them. And I know that you know this because you've seen it. They have this this thing where they, like leave a mess in their wake. And when they enter the room, you can feel the energy level shift because they're so wound up. And a lot of times you can kind of bring them down to earth. You can help cool them down by your response. Now, obviously, it's not your or my job to fix them or to make them feel better or anything, but you can contribute to the whole environment and you can kind of help how this affects you by the approach and the response that you take. So let's say that like somebody, comes barreling into like your workspace and they're like, oh my God, this happened to me. I can't believe this happened to me. So there would be two responses that I think would be the most natural to take. The first one would be to like just ignore them and be like, you're stupid, I'm not going to play into this, like just keep my head down, keep working or whatever. The second one is like, oh my God, tell me what happened. And I think that's like in high school, a lot of the responses that we take, people are like, tell me what's going on. And that kind of feeds the gossip and the drama and all that. But neither of those are the place or the reaction that we want to take. There's this sweet spot right here, right in the middle. And I call it being subtly strategic, strategically subtle. And it's just going to be this kind of calm, cool, casual response to their crazy moment. So when they come in with, oh my God, rather than ignoring and doing nothing, or rather than, oh my God, back and just feeding more of that, craziness, you can just kind of be like, oh, what's going on? Like super chill, super take it or leave it. I don't really care. You're not going to affect my day either way. I'm not going to get sucked into your vortex. I don't really care what happened to you on the way to work, so I'm not going to allow myself to listen to it for the next 2 hours. But I'm also not going to kind of charge that negative energy by being so out of the way, maybe rude or unhelpful by straight up ignoring it. Because I think when you act like that, when you try to be like, you're such an idiot, shut up, no one cares about your drama. When you act like that, I feel like it just kind of feeds into that toxicness, and their response gets even bigger, and then they end up sucking your soul even more. So you're really not doing anyone a service by acting like that. So if you can kind of find this kind of sweet spot where you're right in the middle, it will not only help you avoid more drama by kind of calming them down a little bit, kind of, takes away some of that that charge from the energy, but it will also serve them in this really kind of cool way where you're not teaching them with your actions that it's okay for them to behave like that. If you were to come in and be like, tell me what's going on, or, feeding into that in any way, that would subconsciously reward their behavior and teach them that the world is there to serve their every emotional whim or whatever. So there's this analogy that I've been thinking about when I've been kind of thinking about this whole dramatic people toxic thing the last couple of days. And that's this like word picture or whatever of everywhere you go in life, you carry with you a bucket of water or a bucket of gasoline. And all through life, you see fire everywhere. There are all these different fires, and some fires genuinely need your gasoline. Let's say someone has a dream and they don't really believe in themselves. You can pour gas into their fire and make that passion grow, fuel that fire. But in this case, the fire is the crazy toxic person, and you have your bucket of water. So you can just kind of very gently be like, here you go. I'm just going to kind of disperse this by being a calm energy. And so you can see there that by you reacting either super high strung or super out of the way rude, that would be gasoline, that would not be water, and that would not be helpful. So I know, guys, a lot of times in life, you have to be around these people. You don't have a choice. But sometimes, really, we do have friends in our lives that we love them, we keep them around. Maybe they're kind of funny to watch freak out every once in a while. They have these, big dramatic reactions to life every once in a while, but we don't cut them out. And I just want to kind of encourage you that if you are spending time, a lot of time and a lot of energy keeping someone okay and, keeping them in their place, making sure that their world doesn't fall apart, that's not really healthy for anyone, and really you don't have time for that. You don't have soul energy for that. I know, like, if it's your mom or if it's your boss doing this, you can't necessarily cut them out of your lives, maybe, but if it's somebody that you know could come or go, that you could maybe take a break from for a little bit, I would encourage you to do that. Maybe just for a couple weeks. Don't tell them. I probably wouldn't tell them because they'll probably freak out, but maybe just kind of distance yourself a little bit slowly and see if you all of a sudden have a little bit more energy, if you find yourself more creative, if you start feeling more like yourself when you don't play into that drama, when you don't surround yourself with toxic relationships. So I hope that this has been helpful for you, and I hope you'll think about that this week, and also pinpoint if there's anything in your own soul that maybe has like a little bit of a craving for chaos too. Like with the rise of reality shows, like I've seen that in my own life where I want to watch the fight go down, and that's a little bit sick and twisted. So I need to kind of retrain myself to where I don't want drama in any area of my life, and I'm not the kind of person that is creating that in any area. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've got for you. Okay, so in summarizing this today's show, I just have to like pause and say thank you so much to those of you that have stepped up and become co-creators, co-collaborators of the Ariel Show. About a week ago, I just took a few minutes to share my story with you guys about where the Ariel Show went, why I decided I couldn't keep doing it by myself anymore, and you guys have now stepped up. I'm not doing it by myself, I'm doing it with you, and I'm so grateful. And for those of you that haven't really checked into this yet, check it out, but I just want you to become aware that there's about 30 or 40 people right now that are in this with me, and they are making it possible for you to have this episode totally for free, and for the fact that it's even been created at all. And I'm in a really good spot now to keep making weekly videos, you know, for a long time, and I feel really good about that. So I just want to say thank you. So for those of you who have contributed and are a part of this, thank you from the bottom of my heart. For those of you that haven't, maybe you want to check it out, you can head to patreon.com/arielforhire. I'll throw the link up. I love you guys so much. I hope you have just the best weekend ever, and I will see you next week for sure. I love you so much. Bye.